Hello, Meow.
Meow.
And welcome back to the channel.
I'm Chef.
And I'm Electro.
And we are
Chef Bro.
Woo!
We are back today with another special edition of YouTubers as Magical Girls.
Sure are.
Yes. This one is inspired by Jelle's or Jelly's marble runs. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it.
Yeah, became super obsessed. I think we watched the first one 2 years ago.
Yeah, like there was the dirt ones.
Yeah, like they made like these big dirt tracks down a hill. And we're like, what is this? I can't believe this is a thing.
Like, it sounds really random. We're just watching marbles. But you go there going, oh, this looks cool. I remember playing with marbles as a kid. And then you listen to the commentary because they do like voiceovers and stuff. And it's like a full on, you know, oh, this team, and they have personalities and every marble has like a name and everything, and you get invested into these marbles.
And I think the funniest part I saw was, you know, the crowd getting rowdy when their team lost or something. It's like, oh, they started something.
Yeah, it's like you come for the marbles, you stay for the drama.
And they're like, one of them had like an injury or something.
Yeah, so then the team couldn't compete because one was like, you know, in the hospital kind of thing. And then there was like this one instance where like two teams had to join up because they lost a member or something. So it was like, it's not just marbles, it's like a whole backstory and everything going on, and you're just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next?
And how people run onto the field. There was one marble that actually just rocked up.
And it's like, oh look, someone from the crowd has decided to have a go. It's like, what is this? But like, it is so much fun to watch. It's like, I don't know, we watched 2 hour long video of like the whole Marble Olympics from last year, and like we just, I don't know, it's just entertaining, even though it's just marbles on tracks.
Well, when we watched it 2 years ago, we were like, more?
Yeah.
Like, is there any more of this? And then we completely forgot about it.
Yeah, it kind of just like disappeared, and then they just did like the qualifiers for this year's Marble Olympics, and it started trending or something like that, so it popped back up in our YouTube feed. I'm like, oh my god, do you remember this? So we decided to watch it all, and then we got inspired to do them as a magical girl.
Yeah, like I think this was, we started watching it when we were doing Nerdy Crafter.
Nerdies, yes.
And I think it was even before you did the actual good copy of the outline, and you brought out a piece of paper, and I was like, why don't you do one of those big dresses and like put marbles all over it, like a marble dress. And then you're just like, oh, I really like that idea, and then you were just like,
yeah, do you like the sketch up on the piece of paper? And it turned out really cool. I'm like, this is like the most magical girl looking dress I've drawn to date. So like, okay, we definitely have to do it.
It's like more magical girl instead of evil queen like usual.
I can't help it. It's just like, you know, you could be cute and stuff, or you could be kick-ass and be like, I'm going to like destroy everyone.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm like. I'm like, you could either look cute or you could destroy everything.
Badass.
But yes, and guys, if you decide to make a dress themed with marbles and put marbles on it, don't do it.
No.
Just don't. I think I spent like 3 hours shading in every individual marble.
When I was selecting all of them to color them, I was like, oh, why do you do this?
I can't help myself. When I'm drawing, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be easy because it's like not as much effort when it comes to shade, because, you know, it's easier than shading. And then when it comes to shading, I'm like, I hate myself. Why do I do this to myself?
I think it took you 2 extra days to do.
Yeah, it's like the video was supposed to be out yesterday, but it just took so long for those marbles. I had to take Panadol and everything because my arm was that sore. Like my muscles were like dying on the inside. Like, why?
At the point that you actually had to upload the video yesterday, you were literally on the marbles and you still had like 10 times more to do.
Yes. Like I did the silver ones inspired by the Galactics, which is a team from the Marble Olympics.
Yep.
And I did those ones pretty easily.
Yeah. And then the other ones were
the Pinkies, which is like my favorite one.
And you were going to do the middle brooches as tiger's eyes, but you thought it would look better as...
I ended up doing raspberry races because I felt like the pink, the little lining of the pinkies, I needed a little bit more pink, so I just did the raspberries.
And when we were looking them up, I was like, there's another one that's missing, because there wasn't pictures for every single one of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, my personal favorites are the Oceanics and the Midnight Wisps, as well as there was this purpley one, and I was like, I swear they're, you know, some sort of berry or something. And I'm like, I can't find a picture for them. So we looked up like other Google images searches, and we finally found them. And I was like, oh, that would be so good to put in.
Yeah.
But for the skin tone and the hair, we went for Midnight Wisps. And then for the clothes, we went for the Oceanic color scheme. And that's...
And then the rest of the Galactics, the Pinkies, and the Raspberries.
Yeah.
And like I had like a bit of issues with all the like the shading. I think I started the shading like 5 times because it just like, I don't know, it just wasn't working for me this week.
Yeah, I think he deleted it like heaps of times.
Yeah, like I don't know, it just looked off the way I was shading, so I just had a lot of difficulties. But by the end of it, I really love it now. I'm like, it looks really cool and it's super unique compared to all the other ones.
Yeah, like even also with the Pinkies, we looked up the actual official wiki page and it was all pastel pinks.
Yeah.
And then when we looked up the actual teams, they had different reflex of pink. So I did like bright, saturated for the eyes.
Yeah.
And then I did like pastel purpley pink for the lips.
Yes, but I think I ended up changing the lips to like more of a brighter, vibrant color because with all the other colors, the lips kind of it just looked a bit washed out kind of thing.
I was kind of going for like frostbitten kind of thing, and I was like, I don't know if that's going to translate on the skin color, but I was like, we're finally doing something different with the skin tone. I don't care if the lip color changes or anything like that, because I'm like, I need the skin and hair color to be something out there, completely different.
Yeah, and also with this one, like with the clothing and stuff like that, I tried to make it look more like marbly kind of thing. Like there's like the boots and stuff, I went for more like a very shiny look to be like a marble glass look and stuff like that.
Yeah, and when we were originally coming up with the concept, you said you wanted to do something like the Instagram egg and do an actual marble girl. And I was like, if you do that and you do not do something very, very detailed, as in a magical girl with hair and pretty and stuff, you have to do like a little tiny pet of Midnight Wisp. Because I'm like, I want to do an actual, what a Midnight Wisp would look like if they're actually a wisp.
Yeah, because it was like the original idea was like her eyes were gonna be like the crazy eyes and stuff like that. I was like, it's gonna look really creepy by the end of it. But instead, after I drew the dress on the piece of paper, I'm like, alright, let's just go with this concept.
Yeah, and then I got to do the actual Midnight Wisp as the whole thing.
Like a colour scheme for the person, which is cool. And so yeah, like I did at one point make the skin like super shiny and stuff to make it seem more like a reflective surface, but I think it was just too much by the end.
Yeah.
So I dimmed it down. And yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you kind of make things glass and make them see-through without having a background that you can actually see through to.
Well, it's like the illusion of glass. Like there's something underneath, like the colors underneath, but then it's super shiny and shimmery, so it looks like there's light reflecting off of it like crazy.
But I'm guessing that was way too challenging for the black.
Yeah, like it wasn't so challenging, it just looked weird. You know, I was like, it doesn't look like black anymore, it looked more like a silver.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want to go back to the black, so I just dimmed down the highlights a lot.
That's what I was noticing. I'm like, I used one of the darkest blacks there was that you could still do some shading with. And I noticed that when you're shading it, it just got more and more grey and silver, and it just kept building and building. And I was like, I really hope you darken that afterwards.
Yeah, I did, which you'll see. And yeah, like it was just a lot of stuff that I was playing around with in this one, because I was like, it's not really a person, so I don't really have to follow anything in particular. Like, you know, usually we do based on YouTubers, so the hair color or the skin color and stuff like that. So this one, it was like free range.
Yeah, like Comic Story, and we looked up his hair color and we did like black and purple.
Which is funny because we did Lauren and her hair is like black and purple, so like, oh no, we have to try and make them not look the same.
So I think you did the reflex, like from Sailor Moon. Sailor Mars, she's got purple reflex, but black hair.
Yeah.
So you kind of did that with Comic Storian, but with Lauren Z side, you did the
black
ombre.
roots with like the purple ends.
Yeah.
But it was more like a cosmic end.
And this is pretty much like the most out there hair color all over, and that's why I was so excited about it. I was like, we have to do rather blue skin and black hair, but because we just did, I think the last 3 people with black hair,
Yeah.
we were like, Let's do blue hair. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, because we were juggling with the idea of doing like a blue skin with the black hair, but then I like looked at all the other ones like, they've all got black hair, we gotta do it different.
Yeah, and I think like this is, I don't know, I think you're evolving to make it a little bit more magical girl, less queen, and I don't know, the hair even looked a little bit Sailor Moonish.
Well, yeah, like I've tried to play around with my style a lot with this one. Like instead of doing like the more comic booky female body style, I went more towards like an anime style where I like elongated her legs, gave her like over the top sized feet compared to the rest of it, like a Bratz doll kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I just really tried to play around with it, and I love how it looks. I like her face and everything. I like tried to do a cute smiley face, but it kind of turned out a little bit creepy. But because she's got the flags there, she's like, yeah.
It kind of fits the theme of creating stories for Marvels.
It's a little bit insane, so it's a little bit good. But yeah, so I really enjoyed how it turned out. I loved playing around with all the proportions and stuff and just going for it.
Yeah, I really like the flags and the little, not little, the thing on the stomach.
The brooch thing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like those really old rings that had the massive stone in the middle and then the diamonds all around the end.
She's just fancy. Well, just think about it. If she's the size of a marble, she could literally have a ring put around her. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I just had lots of fun.
You did different effects. You didn't have the things, what are those things coming out the side?
The ribbons? Or
yeah, the ribbons coming out the front on the sides. You didn't usually have the pointed edges. You added more detail.
Yeah, because after you did the color, like I always find this with a lot of my drawings. Like I draw it and I'm like, that looks good. And then you color it in. And then after you color it in, I'm like, it feels like there's either too much or there's something missing.
Yeah.
Like I need that little extra something to help tie it all in. And
Yeah.
this one, like the fingertips, the tips on that, on like the, I don't know, the pointy things.
The pointy things on the shoulders and the pointy things around the torso.
Yeah, like there was just
Pelvis
something,
area.
they just looked too empty.
Yeah, I feel like you have like all these different concepts and I'm like, at the end of it, I'm like, okay, so what are you going to use to tie this all in? And you're like, I like all of it. I'm like, wait until you see the colored version.
Yeah, I know, but that's always like, whenever it's colored, I end up going back and editing. Because I'm like, okay, now this looks a bit weird now that I can see it. But when it's in black and white, it's like, it looks good, you know what I mean?
Well, the worst thing is when I start to color, I say to you, like, what do I do in the concept of there's so many different things happening, I need like 50 different colors. And the first time we went through it, we were like, how many colors did we need? How many marbles were we going to do?
I think it was like 9 different colors
Yeah.
to start off with.
It was like we were going to do for each part of the dress 2 different colors, and it was like green and orange, and we're like, oh.
Yeah, and then there was like the red and yellow as well. There's just
Yeah.
like too much going on. So like we we're gonna try and add all the different marble teams into it, but it just looked messy.
Yeah, so then we're just like, okay, maybe we'll do what we were doing with the hair and the skin and dress, and instead just put 2 more of our favorites, which was the Pinky and the Galactics.
Yes. And like there was like few that looked the same, like the golden orbs and the Quicksilvers or something like that. They kind of look very similar.
On camera, yeah.
Yeah, from the pictures we saw. So it's kind of like, well, it just depends the way you look at it. You could pretend they're the other Marvels if you like them more.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just picked Marvels that worked well together.
And you did makeup this time too.
I do makeup on all of them.
Well, this one's like out there.
Yeah, like I was like, she's very bright, she's very happy. I'm getting like somewhat kind of like Jester vibes from her kind of thing. So I was like, let's do a little bit more of the intense makeup and stuff like that, just to go with it.
When I was coloring it, I was thinking about doing the outfit like half blue and half pink. To be like half oceanic, half pinky. Because I think that's our #1 favorite each.
Yes, we go for Oceanics because we like live in the Oceanics, but I'd pick the Pinkies because I like pink.
And also, I love Midnight West because they just seem so mystical.
Mysterious. They're the dark horses of the competition. But no, like you guys, you should totally check out the channel. It is so much fun to watch.
We'll put a link in the description and stuff.
Yeah, it's one of the The one where they have like the whole drama and everything. It'll get you hooked, trust me. You'll love it. And would like to hear who you guys would like to see next as a magical girl.
Yeah.
I think we're like, at the moment, we're kind of like, we don't know who to choose.
I've got 3 ideas, but I'm like, I want to save them for much, much later.
Yeah. And if you guys... I don't know. I lost track of my mind.
Yeah, so that's it from us today.
Yes, there's a link in the description. We've got a whole new commission page and everything set up, so you guys can go check out that. And don't forget to
like and subscribe.
And click the bell notification button to get all the recent updates from us. Bye, meow.
Meow.